Well, being a female entrepreneur is definitely different. You kind of have to form your own path. I would say raising money as a female entrepreneur, the reality is only 6% of venture capital money goes to female founders. But also it's just about learning your own path. For me, I always say that I like to have a little sense of sass. It kind of gets me through being the only woman in the room occasionally, and also just learning everything that you need to know about the people you're meeting with. Because for me, I was always the only woman in the room in manufacturing, and I'm a non-technical founder. So for me, it was learning all of the ropes to be able to not only walk the walk, but talk the talk. And being able to talk the way that they were was really an asset in kind of overcoming being a female entrepreneur and really the only woman in the room. No, I've never felt like I was at a disadvantage by not having a traditional job out of college. I think the moment in time that really did it for me was when I was a junior going into my senior year, and I had just had this great trial period where 400 people had used my prototype in 4 days. And I was really toying with, I'm like, wow, I could get that consulting job that all my peers are getting. I could, decide to do XYZ at this salary. And I remember my sister talking to her mentor at work, and he was like, you tell her if she ever failed, I would hire her in front of any of those kids any day. And he's like, because the experience that you're having as an entrepreneur is way more valuable than anything on paper or any experience that you would have learned in the books and then gone straight in. So he was like, she needs to value that as much as I know I would value that looking at her resume. And I think since that moment, I knew that I was really meant to be an entrepreneur, and if that didn't work out, that I really had enough of an experience to then do something else. I would say, how did I take my idea and turn it into a successful venture has really just been pure persistence. I think that what people don't see is that it really has taken me 9 years, 7 prototypes, and a lot of time and effort. And it really has had its ups and downs, and I think a big part of just getting it to the point of a successful venture is learning when you need a break and when you need to stop and think something through, and learning from your customers and figuring out what the next pivot is and what this business really is going to become. Because I think so much of it is when you first start out, you don't really know. And you get to a point where it's always going to be hard and difficult, but you take what you've learned and turn it into something else, and ultimately then turn it into a business. So I think that it's hard to say there's no such thing as overnight success or even luck, in my opinion. A lot of it is just persistence and hard work and purely not giving up. I don't think any entrepreneur knows that their product is truly ready to go to market. I think half of the battle is putting it out there and figuring out a response. So for me, that was definitely one of the best things that we ever did, was actually taking it slow and putting out a different design and seeing how people reacted, because our customers really created what SnappyScreen is now. So I think what people always fear is this product ready to put out? And that's also often the battle between the entrepreneur and the engineer, because the engineer always wants to hold it until it's perfect. And so I really think the perfect team or the perfect mindset is to really put it out there and find something about it, and maybe put only 1 or 2 out there. You don't need to completely launch all at once, and finding out customer response actually gives you that ability to try again without having to quit and just get a reaction on a whole bunch of inventory. So really just taking it slow and steady and finding out that response is the best way to know whether it's ready and what it needs to become, because you'll be ever changing.